Hello, and welcome to our very first set of live battles in Go Battle League Season 11, aka the Interlude season, aka this season of Spice. Since, rankings or ratings don't matter, wins only really matter if to I guess get up the ranks, but losing doesn't hurt your rating because there is no rating, so we are free to do almost anything we want in these Go Battle League sets. But I mean, we may huddle around the meta just a little bit more, just because we don't want to stay 0-5 for every match. That would definitely not be ideal, but nonetheless, we're here. We are just about to jump into Season 11, and much like the scene for our other gameplay, we have changed our look for the Go Battle League scenes as well since the last time we've done this, and it looks like so. Hey! And Restream is letting me know that the chat is ready to display messages, and it looks actually readable this time. So, good news, at least in the Go Battle League set, it does look properly well done. Everything's much more boxy, if anything. But I don't know. I'm kind of keeping everything roughly in the same language, in the same design language, more or less. So we're embracing the boxes with the drop shadows, and we're embracing that Great League color format, mostly because I don't have Ultra League or Master League's ones ready yet. And also because while we're not going to be jumping into Open Great League this time around, we will be jumping into the Johto Cup, which follows the same rules as Great League, with the extra restriction of only the Pokemon found in the Johto region are eligible to compete in this cup. So all in all, right now I do have 4 teams set up and ready to go. However, we have started an hour and 43 minutes later than I would have liked, so most likely, I know for sure there are 3 teams that I want to run for sure tonight. We'll see if I have the energy left for the 4th one. But yeah, with all of my ramblings and setup all said and done, let's go ahead and jump into these battles. Go ahead and jump into the basic rewards, because conserve premium battle passes for now. Jump into the Johto Cup, and what better way to start off the Johto Cup than to use the actual Johto starters. We'll be rocking our Shiny Flex in the form of Feraligatr, rocking Waterfall, the Community Day / Johto Tour move, I guess the exclusive move, Hydro Cannon, as well as Crunch. We have Typhlosion hanging on the middle with the ever potent but ever slow Incinerate as its fast move, and Blast Burn, and the ever surprising Solar Beam on it as well. Hashtag get beamed. And finally, we'll be closing out with the ever tanky Meganium in the back, of course rocking Frenzy Plant and Vine Whip as his fast move, Frenzy Plant as his community charge move, and Earthquake for a little bit of that extra coverage. So all in all, let's see how the starters do as we jump into our first match of Johto Cup. It is also worth knowing that I have done a couple battles off stream, hence the reason why I'm currently starting at level 7 or rank 7. So we'll get into those later. But right now, let's go ahead and do our first match against, I think that was Mega Saitama 01. I respect that. And first matchup is against a Blossom, so I'll go ahead and change out for my Meganium, into which case we will now be face to face with a Magcargo in and of itself, rocking Incinerate, so that's definitely not a particularly ideal thing to come up against. But we might be able to actually do some neutral damage with Frenzy Plant. Because I know for sure its fire typing is resistant, but I think rock types are weak to grass, so we might actually have a good case for actually spamming Frenzy Plant against this Macargo, quite frankly. Yeah, and we are able to actually get it pretty deep into the yellow. Let's see if we can get one more. Yep, we are able to get one more Frenzy Plant, so we'll either take out another shield or we'll take out the Macargo. Either way, I'm okay with it. Alright, and with that, we have managed to take out the second shield. Into which case, I will actually go ahead and save mine and say goodbye to my Meganium. RIP, buddy, you have served. You are still alive, but not for long, unfortunately. RIP, buddy, you have served well. With that, we'll go ahead and bring back the Feraligatr, clear out the Macargo, into which case we are now face to face with the Blossom, Shadow Blossom for that matter. I will go ahead and see if I can tank out this Leaf Blade. I'm not 100% sure. We are not able to tank that out. Leaf Blade is a very very potent business there. With that though, we are now face to face in the mirror matchup against their own Typhlosion. With that, we can go ahead and launch Blast Burn their way. We should be able to get some decent damage in. Very decent damage in. And with that, we are definitely going to want to shield out this because we have just witnessed the power of Blast Burn, and I definitely don't want to tank out theirs. Thank you very much. And with that, we should be able to Blast Burn their Typhlosion out of existence, or incinerate their Typhlosion out, and they've decided to call it a night. GG's, GG's all around. Alright, so with that, we've got ourselves our first win of the night, as well as, I believe that was our second win for the, I guess the timed research to get ourselves a couple extra Stardust, thanks to the lovely little free battle pass from the store. So if you are going through Go Battle League and you do happen to see the battle pass in the store, definitely worth picking up because it's a couple extra Stardust. I don't see why not. Alright, but plugs for the battle pass aside, let's go ahead and jump into our second match here. We actually found someone. That was fast. That we're battling against Eric 2019 915. Alright, Eric, what do you got? First matchup is an Umbreon, the tanky evolution itself. And with that, let's go ahead and waterfall our way to victory. Maybe. With that, we got ourselves Hydro Cannon all pumped up and ready to go. And then fire that off, see if we get some decent damage in. Not bad. Not great, not bad. With that, we'll go ahead and see if we can tank out this next move. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a one hit, but it definitely does get us into the yellow. We might be able to tank out one more if anything, but it's gonna be risky, but I'm gonna try and tank it. Oof, that was okay. That did a lot more damage than I thought it would. Okay, so that didn't quite work out, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and hop on in now with Typhlosion. We're definitely going to want to use this Blast Burn here against this Skarmory. I'll definitely take that. And with that, we do manage to get rid of their first shield, so that's definitely ideal for us. And we do have another Blast Burn at the ready, so we can go ahead and fire that one off and either clear out their second shield or clear out their Skarmory. Let's see, and we have cleared out their Skarmory, so I will definitely take that. And we'll go ahead and use up our first shield here because we're already down a Feraligatr. We don't need to be down a Typhlosion too. And with that, we were able to shield there, and might as well go ahead and use up my second shield here as well, because again, I want to keep Typhlosion alive as long as I possibly can. And with that, we should be able to use one final Incinerate, get the Umbreon out of here, and with that, we are now face to face with a rock smashing Azumarill. Interesting choice there. In any event, to go ahead and fire off One final blast burn their way. Meant to try and see if I can get a solar beam going, but it's okay, they would have shielded it anyway. But with that, we can go ahead and bring in Meganium here. Fire off this Frenzy Plant. Get them deep into the red, and hopefully we have enough Vine Whips, to clear out the Azumarill and secure ourselves a victory number 2. GG's. GG's all around. Alright, so we're off to a solid start, getting that 2 of 2. So far the starters are proving themselves quite reliable as a team of 3. Very, very balanced so far, but the night is still young. We still have 3 more battles to go. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going as we go into match number 3 against Cramshi. Alright, Cramshi, what do you got? First round, naturally, is against an Ampharos. With that, I'm going to go ahead and nope on out of here and switch out for Meganium. In which case, they will switch out for their tanky boy in the form of Umbreon. And it should be interesting. With that, we go ahead, fire off Frenzy Plant their way, get a decent amount of damage going. But with that, we'll go ahead and tank out this first one. We should be able to tank out at least one. Pretty sure. This Dark Pulse does get us into the yellow. Good to note. We should probably shield the second one, considering the last time that we've been chucked into the yellow against an Umbreon. Just throwing it out there. And with that, now that we are deeper into the yellow, we'll go ahead and chuck up our first shield here. They are going to fire off their Dark Pulse, in which case we are now prepared to fire off Frenzy Plant their way. And let's see. And we are able to take out their second shield at the very least, so that's ideal. And with that, we'll go ahead and respect their use of the second shield by using up our second shield as well. And we'll go ahead and fire off one final Frenzy Plant, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we've done enough damage to finish off the Umbreon with this Frenzy Plant. And we are. Alright, so we are up 1 Pokemon, but we are about to lose our Meganium to this Ampharos, I'm pretty sure, because unfortunately I don't even think we have enough health to survive that Thunder Punch. Unfortunately, RIP's there, but nonetheless, with that, they do decide to switch out for the Politoed. Alright, the ever-spammy Politoed is coming in hot with the Weather Ball. Does hurt quite a bit, but we're able to hold out pretty well. With that, let's go ahead and see if we can get ourselves some good damage in with Hydro Cannon. It's not going to be very effective, but we do have Stab with it. So there's that, if anything. Plus, surprisingly, Hydro Cannon doesn't take as much energy as Crunch, which I find interesting. Nonetheless, to go ahead and fire off another another Weather Ball our way, and looks like they are primed and ready to fire off another Weather Ball our way. Never underestimate the power of the Weather Ball spam. The Weather Ball spam is very real. With that though, let's go ahead and fire off one final Hydro Cannon their way, get rid of their Politoed. And with that, we will switch back into Typhlosion, which has enough energy for Blast Burn, and hopefully Blast Burn does enough damage to Ampharos to secure ourselves victory number 3. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And with that, secure 4 wins out of 16 for the special research, and 3 wins out of 3 for this set. GG's. GG's all around. Alright, and with that, with the matchup of water v water, I myself need some water. Give me one moment. Don't wait too late to hydrate. Okay, but with that, let's go ahead and jump into... Well, now that hydration is in, let's go ahead and jump into match number 4. See if we can keep this train a-going. So far, the starters are going strong. As we go into match number 4 with MC Boy. MC Boy? Yeah. In any event, our first matchup is against Macargo. Very favorable for us. With that though, they do decide to switch out for Politoed, into which case I will go ahead and switch out for Meganium because, well, this will probably be the best and only opportunity to actually use Meganium considering Macargo. With that, they go ahead and fire off Weather Ball. We feel virtually nothing. With that, let's go ahead and fire a Frenzy Plant their way. I'm going to assume we're going to be taking out a shield here. Oh nope, they decide to sacrifice their Meganium here. That's fair. That's fair. I can respect that. Alright, with that, we are now once again face to face with the Macargo. Macargo is definitely doing a number against our Meganium with Incinerate, but we're able to at least get the shield out with Frenzy Plant, so I will take that. Let's go ahead and fire off one more Frenzy Plant, see if we can either take out another shield or possibly get Macargo into the yellow. We actually do manage to take out the second shield there, so I will take that. With that, they decide to switch in for Jump Bluff, into which case I have the opportunity to switch in for my Typhlosion. With that, I'll go ahead and respect their previous move in using their shields, and I'll go ahead and shield out my Typhlosion there. It was Energy Ball, so it wasn't very effective, but I mean, we have the shields, we might as well use it. With that, we'll go ahead, fire Blast Burn, get Jump Bluff right on out of here, get that guy out of here. With that, see if we can tank out. It might be Rock Tomb. I'm assuming Rock Tomb. Yep. And yeah, no, we don't have the capabilities of tanking that one out, unfortunately. But with that, we now have Feraligatr back on the field. We'll go ahead and use up our final shield here, just in case Rock Tomb decides to be a pain. And with that, we have Hydro Cannon at the ready. We may have an attack debuff, but I'm pretty sure Hydro Cannon can take out that sliver of health left on that Macargo. Yes, it can. I would have been really bummed if it couldn't. Nonetheless, GG's. GG's all around. Alright. And once again, we are off to a very solid start of the night. We are 4 wins out of 4. Let's see if we can seal the deal tonight, get ourselves that 5 out of 5 as we go into our final match of the night, which will be against Cebu29, rocking that Champion Leon pose. Much respect. Alright, and with that, we are face to face with quite a hefty opponent in the form of Shadow Granbull, who is currently in the process of vastly charming away my Feraligatr. With all that said, we'll go ahead and fire Hydro Cannon their way. At the very least, we managed to get their shield out and get them into the red before my Feraligatr's inevitable demise. With that, though, we'll go ahead and bring in Typhlosion. We'll go ahead and shield out of here since we're already down 1 Pokemon. With that, they went ahead and fired off close combat. Probably would have done quite a number on us, not gonna lie. But with that, they've switched in for Lantern, into which case I will switch in for Meganium, into which case they came fully prepared for that with a Skarmory. Definitely not an ideal place for my Meganium to be at the moment, but it's okay. We'll find where there's a will, there's a way. Something like that. With that, let's go ahead and fire off an Earthquake their way. Still not going to be very effective, but I think it has a good chance of doing more damage. Kind of, sort of. With that, we'll go ahead and let my Meganium kick the bucket here. RIP, buddy, you have served well. Very well. With that, though, we'll go ahead and bring in Typhlosion here. I will go ahead and use my final shield here. Pretty sure I'm going to be blocking out... Oh, I'm blocking out Brave Bird. Okay, that's solid. Alright, with that though, we are now face to face with the Lantern. Here's hoping they assume I have enough energy for Solar Beam and Shield. They do decide to shield there. The only question is... First and foremost, can I survive this next attack? And second of all, will I have enough energy to get Solar Beam out? It is Hydro Pump, so that would be an absolute no. So unfortunately, we have lost this match. RIPs. We're doing so solidly too in the beginning, but unfortunately, things have closed out unfavorably for us. But I mean, nonetheless, 4 wins out of 5. I could not ask for a better start. Okay, I could ask for 5 out of 5, but it's a really solid start. The starters have proven themselves to be a very respectable team, at least in rank 7, if that constitutes anything. So, with that, let's go ahead and claim the spoils of this victory. We got ourselves 430 Stardust. We do have enough room in our bag. Good to know. We got ourselves a Sinnoh Stone. We got ourselves an encounter with a Pikipek. I'll get a couple more Gen 7 related candies. Would like to see more Rowlets, if anything. Surprisingly, that's the one that I need the most. Usually grass types I don't have too much trouble with, but this time around it's a little... They've proven themselves quite rare for whatever reason. Alright, in any event, let's go ahead and claim these 3 rare candies as well, and zoom our way into rank 8. And get ourselves 1540 Stardust. I'll take that. Alright, so with that, we can update the numbers real quick. I missed a space. There we go. I cannot type today. Alright, but with that, we started out with a very solid 4-1. Oh, sorry. went too far back. Went too far back on that one. Don't worry about it. Alright, so the starters were surprisingly a solid start. Excuse me. I was not suspecting... sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't expecting the starter Pokemon to do as well as it did. I used them previously, but that was all the way back at rank 1. They did get 5 out of 5 then, but usually at rank 1, it's usually not too much of a challenge. So, no offense to my opponents in rank 1. I'm sure they're solid as well, but yeah, I kind of assumed it was just, rank 1 luck, if anything, but at the very least in rank 7 they've proven themselves, so not that going for them. I guess. Yeah, once again, solid start. We got ourselves 4 wins out of 5, but with that, you can see what team I want to try next and the team I want to try after. But we'll go ahead and jump back into basic rewards, jump into Johto Cup for set number 2. This time around, we're rocking the legendary dogs. This one should be interesting because if I recall correctly, most of the time whenever I hear someone reference a team of the legendary dogs, usually it doesn't pan out all too well. I have used this in my rank 2 as my rank 2 team, and this one also did do a 5 out of 5, but again, we were in the early stages of Go Battle League, so we tend to get pretty lucky in those early matches. Yeah, I'm admittedly not 100% sure how well this team is going to perform as we are now rank 8, but I mean, really, there's only one way to find out. Also, next opportunity to get some water. Yeah, a lot of talking today. Makes me thirsty. Can't help it. Anyway, with that, the first matchup is against Sejong 2006 or Sejong 2006. One of the two. Into which case, our first matchup is against an Umbreon. Much respect to the Umbreon. With that though, we do manage to reach our Wild Charge first. Go ahead and fire that off. See if we can either... Okay, we actually do manage to do decent damage. Unfortunately, it was a CMP tie, so I couldn't switch out in time. So I do need to shield at this very moment. Actually, let's see if... Oh, okay. So I was originally going to switch out to Suicune, but then I thought, why not give Entei a shot? You know? Let's see how well Entei does. Plus, we can capitalize on the fact that it's Rock and Flame Charge, so we can get ourselves a couple of attack boosts along the way. So, take that. Definitely take that. With that. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and fire off our first of hopefully many flame charges. And with that, we are able to clear out their shield there. With that, though, they are going to be firing off another, what I'm assuming is a Dark Pulse our way. Or Foul Play, whichever one they had. Foul Play. So I'll go ahead and block that out. And with that, hopefully we can get to one more Flame Charge before they get to Foul Play. We do. So with that, let's go ahead and see if we can either clear out the Umbreon or clear out their second shield. I think we took out their second shield? It's a little tricky to say, really. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, but with that, we can go ahead and bring back Raikou here, and hopefully it doesn't have enough for another charge move. It does not, so I'll take that. With that, they bring in the Meganium. We'll go ahead and chuck another Wild Charge their way, and then go ahead and nope on out of here. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring in the Suicune, who will hopefully now have to deal with a Skarmory. Okay. With that, at the very least, Ice Beam should be able to do some nifty neutral damage against the Skarmory. Only thing I do have to worry about, of course, is how much damage Suicune's going to take thanks to either Brave Bird or Sky Attack. Sky Attack first gets us deep into the yellow. Definitely not particularly ideal, but nonetheless, we should be able to do a good amount of extra damage to the Skarmory with this Ice Beam, get it deep into the red, into which case, unfortunately, I think we're going to run out of time. Oh, nope. We can get ourselves another Ice Beam. So we have that going for us. We can fire off the Ice Beam, get rid of the Skarmory, get another bit of damage in, bring back the Raikou. Okay, we can't unfortunately get another... We cannot get to another Wild Charge before they get to their charge move. Is Earthquake. It clears out the Raikou. But do we have enough in us to get to another Ice Beam? And unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, we are unable to get to Ice Beam before we get Vine Whipped to death. So, unfortunate things have unfortunately happened. Unfortunately. But nonetheless, GG's all around. Alright, so not off to a particularly great start. We are currently starting with 0-1, but we do... The night is still young. The set is still young. We're currently on our first match. We have been at a negative start before. We have picked ourselves back up. So let's see if we're able to do that with this dog team as we go into match number 2. Who is going to be Arctic 1378. Excuse me. Alright, and with that, our first matchup is against a Politoed, and they decide to just straight up nope on out of there. And with that, I have, for one reason or another, decided to rock the Suicune. Not 100% sure why I decided to go with that instead of Entei, but I mean, you know, what it is. With that, at the very least, you should be able to get some neutral damage with Ice Beam, or take out their first shield, so I will take that. That they have been charging a while, but Suicune's pretty tanky. I think it should be able to handle. It is Crunch. Yeah, we are able to handle that fairly well. So with that, so I think they are currently rocking Iron Head as their charge, as their fast move. So that could explain the delay for why it takes a while for them to get Crunch out. Until is kind of an expensive move. Or doesn't really provide all that much energy, if I remember correctly. With that though, they do fire off another. Well, they fired off another Crunch, got us deep into the red, and they have decided to bring in Shiny Flex Celebi, for that matter. With that, we are currently getting eaten alive by Confusion. That's definitely not ideal. With Entei right now, but with that, they go ahead and fire off Seed Bomb our way. With that, we might as well go ahead and chuck out a Flame Charge their way and get rid of the pink Celebi. And with that though, they do come back swinging with Politoed. Unfortunately, we do at the very least have enough to fire off one final Flame Charge before my Entei's inevitable demise, so at the very least we have that going for us. Get a couple extra damage in. Unfortunately, with that, we have to say goodbye to our Entei there. RIP, buddy, you have served well. With that, we'll go ahead and shield out what I'm assuming is going to be the first of many, or would have been the first of many. But okay, so we are definitely in quite a pickle. I think you can safely call this a pickle. With that, we'll go ahead and fire off another wild charge. We are able to get a decent amount of damage in. And unfortunately, they do have a charge move at the ready, and we do have a much weakened defense. So we might be in quite a rude awakening. And we were. No questions asked there. With that, at the very least, we should be able to fire off one final wild charge, get rid of the Steelix at the very least. And unfortunately, with that though, the Politoed will have enough in it to wipe our Raikou off the face of the map. So, unfortunately, that does make us 0-2. Things are definitely starting to get a little bit scary. But nonetheless, GG's all around. Definitely could have handled the Steelix better. Kind of regretting my handling of that one, honestly. But it is what it is. You live and learn, right? You live and learn. Alright. Hopefully we've learned enough to be able to pick ourselves back up and get ourselves our first win of the set as we move into match number 3 against Oznaj 1118 or 118. I'm not sure. I might have miscounted the amount of ones, but nonetheless, their first matchup is with a Lantern. And with that, we'll go ahead and chuck a wild charge their way, as one naturally does. Alright, get them well into the yellow. And with that, we'll go ahead and switch out for the Suicune. With that though, I think I am going to go ahead and use up as many shields as I can in this particular instance. Primarily because, well, their next matchup is going to be an Umbreon, so there's that. With that, well, Starle's definitely not going to do much, and unfortunately, Ice Beam doesn't look like it's going to do much either, but at the very least... Oh, excuse me. at the very least, we are pretty tanky ourselves, so we should be able to, we are able to tank out that foul play with relative ease. That though, we'll go ahead and fire off an Ice Beam, get them into the yellow first. Okay, we got into the yellow about the same time. I'm going to go ahead and tank out this next attack as well. Should get us about to the edge of the red, I believe, if anything. Yep. And with that, we'll go ahead and fire off another Ice Beam their way. Either clear out their first shield or get their Umbreon into the red. Okay, with that, we are able to get Umbreon into the red. And we're actually able to clear it out with our Entei. So, definitely take that. Now with that though, they have returned with their Lantern. Does give me an opportunity to fire Flame Charge their way and clear out their first shield. Again, a bit of an attack boost, but Water Gun is definitely doing quite a number on my Entei. But at the very least, we were able to come out of that alive. With that, the final matchup is Skarmory, so that's definitely good news for my Entei, and really good news for my Raikou, who's been chilling in the back for kind of a while. With that, ooh, we actually do have enough to fire off one final Flame Charge. So we'll go ahead and fire that guy off. And with that, I believe it is enough to clear out the respectable Shiny Flex Skarmory and secure ourselves the first victory of this set. GG's. GG's all around. Alrighty, so still in the negative. We are 1 win, 2 losses, but you know, the team was able to secure 1 victory at least in this set, so can't complain there. But let's see if we can tie it up, get ourselves that 2-2 as we go into match number 4 against Kazuna Oden. Sure. Alright, Kazuna Oden, what do you start? You're starting out with a Lantern, naturally. And with that, oh, this one is rocking Spark, interestingly enough, so we could be looking at a... We could potentially be looking at a, what do you call it? Not a Thunderbolt, a Hydro Pump in our very near future. With that, I am going to go ahead and shield out this first one, much like last time. Just because I'd rather not deal with it as much as I possibly can. With that though, ooh, they do come in with the Jump Pluff. But are they expecting the Ice Beam? Sorry, I'm hearing noises in the back. They are not. They are definitely not. They definitely were not prepped for the Ice Beam. That is for sure. With that though, I'm assuming the next move they're chucking our way is an Energy Ball. I will try and see if I can tank it out. That may not have been my brightest move, but you know, it is what it is. With that though, let's go ahead and fire off another Ice Beam their way, and we are able to clear out the Jump Bluff at the very least. So they are down 1 Pokemon, but I am down 1 shield in comparison, and I am now down 1 Suicune, and that Skarmory now has itself a good chunk of energy to worry about. That. Okay, unfortunately they are able to get to their charge move first. I am going to go ahead and shield just to keep my Entei alive as much as I possibly can. It is Flash Cannon. Possibly could have done some pretty nasty damage. Definitely wouldn't have killed. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have killed, but my Entei would not have been all too happy at the end of that match. That is for sure. With that though, we'll go ahead and switch out for Raikou. With that, we maybe just looking at a Thunderbolt our way just to get my Raikou deep into the yellow there. Definitely not ideal circumstances, but well, we might as well fire off the Wild Charge and get their shield out of the way. There we go, and then go ahead and fire off 1 final We are able to fire off one final Volt Switch, get deep into the red. Unfortunately, we are going to be saying goodbye to our Raikou here. RIP, buddy, you have served well. But with that, our Entei has definitely enough to clear out the Skarmory and secure victory number 2 of this set. GG's. GG's all around. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I guess to recap once again, we are off to a negative start, but the dogs have decided to make a comeback and have secured themselves to the point of a tie. 2 wins, 2 losses. So it all boils down to this. Will we end in a positive win-loss or a negative win-loss? Only depends as we go into match number 5. Holly hi-ho! Hi-yo! Holly hi-yo! Alright, Holly, you'll be rocking an Umbreon up at the start. Can respect that, I can respect that. And with that, I am able to get to Wild Charge first. I'll go ahead and fire that off. We are able to take out the shield. Fortunately, it does look like we CMP tied. I'm assuming I'm using that correctly. We CMP tied with their Umbreon, so I'm going to need to shield out that foul play. Into which case, I will now go ahead and bring in the Entei, into which case we will now be face-to-face with their shiny, notably Shiny Flex Azumarill. I can respect that. And with that, unfortunately, Flame Charge is not going to be doing too much, but at the very least, we are able to get some decent extra attack charge there. We will go ahead and use up another Flame Charge here just to get just a little extra attack boost, maybe a little extra damage in, and get him into the yellow at the very least. But with that one, even if it's not very effective, I think we might be saying goodbye to our Entei right here with this Ice Beam. Oh no, we're still kicking, just not much, not by a lot, not by a lot. With that though, we'll go ahead and respond to your Azumarill with our Raikou. We will go ahead and use up our final shield here, just because. Okay, it was either gonna be Ice Beam or Play Rough apparently, but it is what it is. With that though, they do come in with the Meganium. I do decide to bring in the Suicune. Seem to run into a little bit of technical difficulties there on their end, but you know they are still able to get to what I'm assuming is Frenzy Plant. Yep. Ooh, and actually Frenzy Plant does do a one-hit KO on the Suicune. I have decided to just straight up launch in for the Wild Charge, so I'm assuming my defense is going to be shot to oblivion at this point, into which case we will be saying unfortunately goodbye to our Raikou here. Yeah, unfortunately that does mean we end in a negative win-loss, but nonetheless, we had ourselves a good run. We had ourselves a good comeback in the middle, and the dogs did better than I was expecting, given its reputation. But nonetheless, GG's all around. And with that, we can go ahead and claim ourselves the 2 rewards here. We got ourselves 430 Stardust, as well as a Charge TM. Definitely take that one. Always in the lookout for Charge TMs. Always very valuable. And with that, believe it or not, we still make it to rank 9. I guess I'm going to go out on a limb and assume all of the set the rank requirements are much lower than they usually are. Either that or it was a lot easier to get through the initial 10 levels. It was easier to get through those than I remember. I can see either way. I can see either way. But yeah. With that, we are. Well, we're going to be saying goodbye to the dogs party. It did not. Well, unfortunately, I think most were right. It is definitely kind of a tough team to rock, at least for myself, especially in the fact that I've only had one charge move for each of them. So we didn't unfortunately have that extra coverage with Raikou with Shadow Ball. that kind of could have come in clutch in certain scenarios, but nonetheless, once again, it did do fairly alright. It did manage to get itself the 2 wins out of 5, so it's not the greatest, but still arguably respectable. But with that, I am planning to do one final match before the end of tonight, but right now I do need to I need to go restroom. Pretty much. So I will be right back. In the meantime, if my intermission scene works, enjoy the soothing sounds of Leak Duck. Hello, hello. We are back. Hope you enjoyed the soothing sounds of lo-fi provided by Leak Duck. Always enjoy that soothing lo-fi music, you know. Always gotta respect. Yeah, in any event, bathroom break out of the way. Hello and welcome to the stream Drive Bone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the cat emote as well. Very adorable. Drive before hey. Hello. Ha. Hi. Anyway. Yeah. So right now, quick recap of current events. We are currently duking it out in Go Battle League in Pokemon Go. Specifically, we are going through the Johto Cup. Our first set involved using the three starters. Feraligatr up at the front, Typhlosion in the middle, and Meganium in the back. And that one we were able to have a strong start in the form of 4 wins out of 5. Following that, we have decided to keep the trio theme going, and we tried the legendary dogs with Raikou hanging out the front, Entei in the middle, and Suicune in the back. Unfortunately, that team did not do as well, but was still able to secure itself a fairly respectable 2 wins out of 3. So, I guess for Drive Phone, to answer your question, how's Go Battle League going? Started out great. Currently, okay. Yeah, fortunately, we did start this out around rank 7. We are currently sitting around rank 9, so at the very least we have that going for us. But we are about to jump into one final set before we call it a night. And this team, while the other 2 I have gotten the chance to test out in previous matches prior to the stream, this one I have absolutely no idea how it's going to perform. And this team, when I enter into basic rewards and into Johto Cup, I lovingly refer to as the PV Poke number 1s. So, in case you're unfamiliar, PV Poke is a site you can go to check the overall, I guess, viability of certain Pokemon in, let's say if you want to check if it's great for Great League or Ultra League, or in this case, what's the best Pokemon to use for Johto Cup, and which ones kind of see like, oh, does it work better as a lead? Does it work better as a closer? Does it is it fairly spammy with its fast moves? Is it bulky? Is it kind of a glass cannon? All that you can kind of figure out through PV Poke stats. Trying to reach rank 20 for the first time because I always gave up around rank 15. No, yeah, usually that time between 15 and 20 can be quite of a grind, but yeah, if you ever want to kind of see like where each Pokemon generally lies with like a certain meta, or if you ever want to they also offer like a team building simulator to see like how well it stacks up with the rest of the meta. I definitely check it out every now and again. That's a good way to just get a general get a general understanding of where everything each Pokemon kind of fits into the overall Pokemon Go Battle League meta. But essentially with PV Poke, they do have different categories. Of course, they have like overall, like how well Pokemon handle overall. They show which one's the best leads to go with, which one's the best switches to have, and which one's the best closers to have, as well as I think like general like attackers, defenders, stuff like that. I think I don't really remember the other tabs, but essentially what this team is kind of sort of the number 1s of each of the lead, switch, and closer categories. I say kind of sort of because for the closer category, it calls for Shadow Raikou with Wild Charge and Shadow Ball, essentially. And right now I'm doing Crobat, Crawdaunt, and a third that I keep changing. It's actually, I give you props. That's an interesting team. I haven't thought about Crawdaunt. Crawdaunt's kind of cool. Crobat definitely has its spam going for it. Cross Poison is always a good chance of getting attack buffs, and then Poison Fang, you can use that to lower defense, so that's always valuable. And Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is always a fun one to always have on any Pokemon. But and speaking of, Shadow Ball would have been nice to have on Raikou, especially on Shadow Raikou, but right now my Shadow Raikou is currently rocking Frustration, and I can't change that until the next Go Rocket Breakout, which is probably not until, I don't know, maybe like April or something. So for now, I'm going to settle with the number 5 closer, which is Raikou, and well, this one just has Wild Charge, but it would have, number 5 proper would have been Wild Charge and Shadow Ball, but nonetheless, we are still rocking the number 1 starter, which is Ariados, rocking Cross Poison and Mega Horn, I believe. And we currently have the number 1 switch according to PvPoke in the form of Quillfish. So all in all, we'll see if having all number 1s or tentative number 1s makes a solid team in and of itself, or if all of these different variables are just kind of in a vacuum, and they work well with other team variations. I mean, really, there's only one way to find out. Yeah, I'm not expecting a perfect 5 out of 5 out of this one, if I had to be completely honest, but because we are rocking 2 poison types, and something about that just doesn't sit as well with me. But we'll see how this team goes as we go in their first match with Charge for Charge for Ragnarok or something like that. Sorry, I totally missed out on your name. But first matchup is against the ever bulky Umbreon, who is rocking a flower crown. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cute. And with that, we'll go ahead and chuck a Cross Poison their way, get a little bit of damage in. And with that, we'll go ahead and actually shield out here, just in case they happen to be rocking Psychic. They are rocking Foul Play, so really nothing to worry about there. I think I am actually going to try and tank out this one, see how it goes. Blaze Legend 44, welcome to the stream. Right now, my Ariados has tanked out a Foul Play. Currently sitting in the yellow, so it's not too happy about it, but all in all, we did manage to get the Mega Horn on an Umbreon, so I'll definitely take that. With that, though, we are now face-to-face with a Scammery. With that, we'll go ahead and fire a Cross Poison their way. I'm not sure why, just cause, I guess. With that, though, we'll go ahead and switch out for Quillfish, who I think that Skarmory is packing Steel Wing. So yeah, that's gotta be a thing. Fairy is my biggest issue. Can't seem to counter no matter what. Why not? If you're having trouble with fairies, Poison is a really solid one. Fire types, while they're not super effective against them, fire types are able to resist fairy type moves. So if you happen to have maybe like Typhlosion or Magcargo around or stuff like that, was it? And Steel, definitely Steel. Steel is always a solid. Anything Steel would be good stuff. Good stuff. are we looking at a brave? Speaking of, sorry, still as we're dealing with a steel type ourselves. Okay, we're looking at sky attack, so all in all, we're a-okay there at the very least. And with that, final mon is a Azumarill. You can respect that. And with that, we might as well go all in with the wild charge, and go all in one more time with the wild charge. And with that, unless the Azumarill has something up its sleeve, nope, we are able to seal the deal on that one. GG's all around. Metagross for Great League. Oh. Metagross for Great League. That thing sounds fragile. It's very, very weak steel there. I guess it could work, I guess, but some other prob is, yeah. I don't know why when you said prob, I immediately thought Skarmory. Skarmory is a solid option to go with Great League. Speaking of prob, if you ever get yourself a Probopass, it's not as common and its charge moves are fairly weak, but it's a good filler. If you ever get one and have enough candies and Stardust to get to proper speed, Bastiodon is always everyone's least favorite wall to go up against. What else is a good steal? Melmetal's okay, I think. It's a lot better in Ultra and Master League. If you go about hatching, Steelix in Open Great League has its niche. I think it's definitely better in Johto Cup, but I think if you get open gifts from like friends and get like the 7k egg, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Galarian Stunfisk is still hatching from those. And if it is, I will definitely look out for that one, because Galarian Stunfisk is I would argue Galarian Stunfisk is an absolute must. To have. I would go for that. I think that's your that's your homework. That's your grind for that. Yeah. Otherwise, for fairy types, Steel's nice to have. Poison tends to be. Poison is always a solid way to go for that as well. Ariados got a buff, so that should be a good thing. Yeah, 7k eggs which are all being worked on. Okay, well, I'm hoping for you. I'm hoping for one of them 7k eggs to get you a good Galarian Stunfisk. Get that steel pancake on your team, and I believe. Yeah, fairies can be is a fairly interesting one to prep for, but yeah. Otherwise, if you happen to have like for poison, like Ariados or Drapion gets neutral damage in, but I think it covers enough with its faster charge moves. You should be okay. Trying to think who else is there. Oh yeah, Alolan Meowth is would be pretty rough. If you do get Alolan Sandshrew, Alolan Sandslash is part steel. I mean, its ice type kind of makes it fragile, but you'll get a good amount of ice punches in. I guess that's something. It is weak to Talon. It is very weak to Talon. Talon looks at it and it just like melts. So yeah, you definitely want to keep that thing away from fire types. What's spawning now that's pretty good? Is there anything that's spawning right now that's pretty good? True. Talonflame is you'll see it a good amount in Great League, and I think it's made itself a good staple for Galarian Meowth. I need one more candy to evolve. Okay, so we're hoping for one of those 7k eggs to be an Alolan Meowth, or a Galarian Meowth, or any kind of Meowth really. Or if one happens to spawn nearby, because I think those are it's a rarer spawn, but I think they're spawning right now. So oh yeah, Talonflame would be a good one. Incinterate's an interesting thing to play because Incinerate is so slow, but it's so powerful. Catch people off with Brave Bird sometimes. And Flame Charge makes Incinerate even more powerful, which is definitely not something I'd rather tank out. Yeah. What other good mons are there against fairies? I'm assuming you're right, Talonflame can be your third. Shadow Ho-Oh. I can see it performing fairly similarly to Talonflame. I'm thinking Ultra League it might be more toe-to-toe with Talonflame. I think Great League it might be a bit too frail. I think. Don't quote me on this. But yeah, I think being that low CP and having that shadow like defense, or I guess lack of defense thanks to its shadowing, I thing's gonna be hanging on for dear life. It's gonna be a bit of a technical play, but I don't deny it's possible. Charizard's a fun one. Oh. I think Charizard got overshadowed by all other like fire flying types in the space, but Charizard could be fun. Blast Burn is insane. Yeah, it's a rough one. Charizard's getting some rough times. I think it kind of acts like whole. It's probably better in your Ultra League. I find it as a really good Ultra League starter. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of starting, we should probably restart our second match of the Johto Cup before it gets too late. Oh yeah, Empoleon is rough. If you're able to get a good Blast Burn in, you can get yourself some good neutral damage in. Just like we're hoping for, more than neutral damage against... That was a lot of letters. I think that was like Taka Yakonaka. Sorry. With that though, we are now face to face with the mirror of Ariados v Ariados. We'll go ahead and rock their cross poison first. I will instead respond with a Mega Horn. I don't think this is a great idea, but we're going to do it anyway. And with that, they do decide to shield that out, so that's something. I'm going to try and tank out this next one. It's cross poison once again, so ooh, they do manage to get the attack debuff though, so that's a little bit concerning. To be honest, I don't know how to change it though. Huge if it lands, yeah. It's a big gamble, but it's if you happen to catch it without shields, if Empoleon and Charizard is your last Pokemon, and you happen to have if you happen to have what was it, Blast Burn already ready before Empoleon gets the Hydro Cannon, you got yourself a good case going there. But that's all I got. 2:51 a.m. and you're playing Pokemon Go. It's okay. It's 12:52 a.m. for me and I'm playing Pokemon Go. Oh, better yet, I'm streaming Pokemon Go. All about that grind. I respect the grind. In any event, we have unfortunately said goodbye to our Ariados during this match. I don't know when that happened, but we did. R.I.P. buddy. I'm pretty sure you served well. With that, Quillfish has arrived and aquatailed that Ariados out of existence. Now we are currently face to face with a Granbull. Currently rocking Charm. Currently eating us away quite well, but this Sludge Wave should be able to do the trick. There we go. And with that, our final mon to deal with is Entei. So, with that, we should be able to hopefully Aqua Tail spam our way to victory. Oh, we may not even need to spam all that much. Alright, with that, might as well use our last shield here. See how well that handle, or just to keep our Quillfish alive for a little bit longer. And with that, with this final Aqua Tail, unless they happen to have something else up their sleeve, we should be able, we should be able to clear out the Entei and secure ourselves victory number 2 of this set. GG's all around. Also, as a side note, JMSDA123, thank you very much for the follow. I apologize, I missed that. Alright, but on the plus side, Fishkin and a Flaming Dog. Alright, it's a wild world we live in. It's a wild world we live in this game. So many things happening. So little time. Alright, but in any event, so on the positive side, as of right now, it turns out using the number 1s from PV Poke can actually lead to wins. What? The best Pokemon from... I'm kidding. But so far we've been holding up really well. I have a feeling... So there's a couple Pokemon that I can see that's gonna like derail that real quick, but knock on wood, we don't encounter that. Nonetheless, we'll see if we do or not as we go against Nakamu. I think that was 187 or 1987. Nonetheless, first matchup is against a Shadow Entei. I am just gonna go ahead and let my Ariados nope on out of there, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch in for the Raikou. With that, Raikou is taking quite a beating against taking quite a beating from the Shadow Entei, and unfortunately we're going to be taking even more of a beating thanks to that Wild Charge. Not Wild Charge, their Flame Charge, and we're going to take admittedly even more of a beating as we fire back with a Wild Charge, to which case they decide to shield that. But we do have another Wild Charge at the ready, so we might as well go ahead and fire that one out. Get that going, and we actually managed to at the very least take out 2 shields, so you know what, I can't complain there. Alright, with that though, I'm assuming this is also going to be a fire type move, so I think Quillfish can handle. Barely, but we're hanging on. We're hanging on. With that, we do manage to clear out the Entei, but we've encountered one of the Pokemon that I was a bit concerned about running into, and that is the Mudboy. The Mudboy Quagsire. Ah, boy. Well, here's hoping everything goes well. On the plus side, it is rocking Water Gun, so I'm assuming we're not going to be seeing its charge moves all that much, at the very least. And plus with the shields down, I think I might be able to first and foremost shield this because I'm pretty sure if it's either Earthquake or Stone Edge, it would hurt quite a bit. It is Stone Edge. That would have hurt quite a bit. With that, let's see if we can get ourselves some pretty nice damage going with this Mega Horn. Able to get good old-fashioned neutral damage there. And with that, the final mon to deal with is Meganium, but they have decided to call it a night. Thank goodness. I actually don't know if I would have been able to survive the rest of that match. But yeah, nonetheless, GG's all around. And with that, we have secured victory numero 3, numero 3 with this team. Yeah, so far so good. At the very least, we're going to end this in a positive, but let's see if we can keep this train going as we go into match number 4 with Sasamitsu 3. Is Lycanroc decent? I actually am not sure. I haven't actually looked into Lycanroc all that much. I'd like to believe its Midnight form is really good. Only because I really like its Midnight form and I want it to be good. I don't know, it gives me Obstagoon vibes, so maybe that means something. But in any event, we do manage to sneak in a Mega Horn against the Umbreon, so we are able to do manage to do a decent amount of damage there. With that, let's go ahead and fire off a Cross Poison their way, and we are able to clear out the Umbreon with that. GG's there. With that, we are now face to face with a Hitmontop. That's new. Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting that. With that, let's go ahead and fire a Cross Poison their way, get a decent amount of damage going. Unfortunately, no attack boost. Kind of bummed about that, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and save the shields for a little bit and go ahead and let our Ariados kick the bucket here. RIP, buddy, you have served well. But with that, with its defense lowered, it is now time to see if Quillfish can shine against it as it fires an Aqua Tail their way. And we actually are able to clear out the Hitmontop. But with that, we are face to face with their final mon, their Shiny Flex, their Skarmory. The good news is that at the very least we have Raikou hanging out on the back, so that should do us fairly well. With that, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and shield out on this one. I do want to keep my Quillfish alive for at the very least a little bit longer. Let's try and see if we can at least get their last shield out before my Quillfish's inevitable demise. Let's go ahead and fire off the Aqua Tail. We are able to get them into the yellow. At the very least, we have that going for us. And with that, I'll go ahead and say goodbye to our Quillfish here. RIP, buddy, you have served very well. And with that, we can go ahead and close things out with Raikou. And we don't even need to worry about using one final wild charge, as we are able to seal the deal with Volt Switch and get ourselves victory number 4. GG's all around. It's not gonna be decent. Defense low when I use. Haven't seen it in battle. Yeah, it could be a spicy pick. In fact, I did 34 rock covers and I got one shiny. Oh yeah, shiny rates, man. You gotta love them. You gotta love them shiny rates. Speaking of rates, though, I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 Rockruff raids around me, and it's always at the times when I can't raid, so or it's just too far of a distance. So I'll let you know first and foremost when I actually get myself a Rockruff, and when I do, I get myself a Lycanroc? Yeah, Lycanroc. And then we'll test. Oh, and I get myself enough Stardust to power it up and get another move on it. And then we'll test. Does Lycanroc have enough CP? Is Lycanroc CP viable for Ultra League? Or does it seem that way, or does it seem like it's gonna take like if you use like all the resources on it, it's still gonna be just like 2000 CP? I generally know nothing about Lycanroc right now. I'm sorry. Haven't actually built one. Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Something to experiment later, I swear. It can go more. Oh, okay. I'll double, well, since we're using a PV Poke team, maybe I'll check out PV Poke later. Yeah, I wonder if it has good moves. If it has counter, then I mean, that's already promising. The only thing I know about the Gen 7 mods is that was it Decidueye? The full grass evolution got like robbed because its fast moves are like garbage. I don't know what fast moves it has, but I'm going to take a wild guess and assume one of them's Astonish. If its fast moves have been robbed, I can only assume one of them's Astonish. Anyway. Speculation on Decidueye and Lycanroc aside. Stone Edge, Psychic Fang, and Crunch. It has counter. Not bad. I can see use cases for it. Like possible use cases against this next opponent, if it weren't for the fact that we are currently in the middle of Johto Cup. But in any event, we are in our next match. I apologize, I totally missed out on what your name was. But with that, let's go ahead and fire a Cross Poison their way, as they have decided to switch out from Jumpluff, excuse me, Jumpluff to Magcargo. But with Magcargo comes the opportunity to bring out the Poison Fish and chuck as many Aqua Tails as we can at this fire, at the Magma Snail. Excuse me. With that, we'll go ahead and shield here. Keep my fish alive as long as I possibly can. And that, let's go ahead and fire off another Aqua Tail their way. Clear out their second shield, and hopefully, okay, I'm gonna need to use my second shield here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now Magcargo's got good spice to it. Alright, but with that, they do decide to switch off the Jumpluff, into which case we actually have an opportunity to fire off a Sludge Wave their way. And with that, let's go ahead and switch back in for the Ariados. It's going to need to tank out this next move. It could be Acrobatics, which could spell possible death to instant death to us. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase that real quick. That was just straight up instant death. With that though, they do manage to get another charge move in. It could be Energy Ball, I'm assuming. It is indeed Energy Ball. And with that, we say goodbye to our Quillfish. Jumpluff coming in extra clutch for their team today. But Raikou is able to clear out Jumpluff before it decides to solo my entire team. With that though, the snail has returned. We'll go ahead and risk it all and fire a wild charge their way. Alright, and with that, the final mod to deal with is a shiny Sudowoodo. You know what? I don't care if I lose to it. It's a shiny Sudowoodo. I can't complain. But we are able to get one final. We came close. We came close. We got deep into the red. We were one volt switch away, but they did the tried and true, throw more rocks at it. And our Raikou has succumbed to the rocks. And unfortunately, we got ourselves a loss at the end. Yeah, nonetheless, yeah, GG's all around. And at the very least, we're able to close out tonight with a solid 4 wins out of 5. So definitely take that. Speaking of, I'll go ahead and take this 470 Stardust. We got ourselves a Charge TM. We got a Peeky Peck. Take the Peeky Peck. I totally messed up that throw, but it's okay. Yeah, it happens. I underestimated the acrobatics. The acrobatics are too good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Watch it be a hundo. I know, right? That would have been wild. Hundo Picky Peck. I would have absolutely no idea. Well, no idea what to do with a Hundo Toucan, but you know, would have been cool to have. But nonetheless, we've made it to rank 10 by the end of this night. Look at all this Stardust rewards that I am going to sleep on for now because it is currently 1 in the morning and I do have things to do tomorrow or I guess later today at this point. So no idea if I'm actually going to bother to save this for the next time I stream this, or I'm just gonna try and capitalize on it sometime off stream. But nonetheless, I think that pretty much seals the deal for today. Started out with the starter Pokemon and got ourselves a strong start with said starter Pokemon. It's 3 a.m. and I gotta be up by 8:30. Oh, that tells me that I should end this now so that you can go to sleep. But yeah, you should probably get some sleep too. Yeah, in any event, we started out strong with the starters, 4 wins out of 5. We tested out the dogs. The dogs did okay with 2 wins out of 5. And then PV Poke coming in clutch with the number 1 recommendations, getting us 4 wins out of 5. So all in all, solid night. Yeah, all in all, it's a good night. We did solid. Why is my thing like sinking into the ground? There we go. I actually forgot I left my chat box here, so I don't know what's going on with that. Oh no, you missed the dogs gameplay. Oh yeah, it was very riveting. Very disappointing, but very riveting. In fact, if you are interested, how much energy did you... Oh, I have energy in me. But yeah, if you do actually want to catch up on all of the battles that we've done here, if you're watching from Twitch, we were actually simulcasting this on YouTube as well, so the archives for that, well, it will be up on this channel for what, like 14 days or something, but it will be available practically permanently on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and check that out there. Bye, nice meeting you. It's been a pleasure, Drive Bone. Thank you very much for tuning into this one. Ablaze Legend 44, thank you as well for tuning into this one. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you guys. It's been good stuff. And while we're at it, along on the church side, thank you very much to JMSDA123 for following. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, if you ever happen to swing by on the Twitch channel, you can always go ahead and drop that follow like JMSDA, and I think Ablaze Legend did previously too. If you did, thank you. If not, why didn't? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna harass on that. Yeah, go ahead, drop a follow on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, you can always like this stream, I guess, and subscribe as well. If you ever want to keep up to date on stream schedules, I am planning on posting that over on our social media pages on Instagram and Twitter at, I was about to say TechNet Show, that's a different channel. Oh, sorry, I don't have commands set up. I don't think. I gotta do a lot of back end work on Twitch. I swear. Actually, I gotta do a lot of back end stuff on a lot of things. If you ever search around the about page, though, I think it's somewhere around there. I know it's a long way around, but or in fact, I think I just have my Let's give you my channel link. I don't know. Just post it in the chat. Why not? Can I? Very sure. Post this one. Check that up. I'm pretty sure that works. But yeah, if you want to check it out. Yeah. Also, social media pages, Twitter, Instagram. If you want to keep up to date onto when we stream. Speaking of, for the stream schedule for this coming week, on Tuesday we'll be diving back into Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus or Arceus or however you want to pronounce the god Pokemon's name. I believe last time around we just encountered our very first alpha in the form of the whoop. But yeah. Oh, greatly appreciate it for the sub, and I'll see you around Ablaze Legend. Thank you once again very much for tuning into this one. But yeah, this coming Tuesday around this time, Pokemon Legends Arceus will be jumping back in. This coming Thursday will be, Tuesday will also be on both YouTube and Twitch. Important distinction to note, because Thursday will be jumping back even further into our Pokemon history and continuing our journey through Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, because we haven't actually finished that one yet. So we'll be going through that again on Thursday, and we'll be doing that exclusively on Twitch. So we'll definitely have the VOD, or at least the highlights, up later on YouTube. But excuse me. But yeah, the Brilliant Diamond stream itself will be exclusively on Twitch on Thursday. And then finally, this coming Sunday will either be more continuations of Legends Arceus, or we'll be diving back into Go Battle League. And I believe next week is going to be Ultra League and Ultra League Premier Cup, I believe. So we'll probably do some of that. Either or maybe both. I don't know. We'll see if we have time for that, then maybe. But yeah, that'll be this coming Sunday, and that stream will be on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, that's ultimately the plans. Once again, thank you very much to all of you who tuned into this one. Thank you once again to JMSDA123 for following, and I guess with that, I will see you guys in the next stream. See you.